Hello everyone, welcome back to the Plus Ultra Legal stream. My branding will change every single time I come back from a break. Eventually, one day, I'll say the correct thing. After I make it. We're going to figure out today if this is a football made of meat. Even if it was our son's head.
No. Oh God. No.
The voice acting, though.
Can't be happening. It's not fucking happening.
Dad?
What the hell?
Dad? Are you there?
But of course,
What kind of
the head can talk to
shit
us.
is this?
Dad, I'm still alive. The head. Don't connect to it.
Adam? Adam, are you there?
I need your help. There's a place. It's called Sanctuary.
Adam? Adam? Just try to call me back. God damn it.
How could our friend call us if our friend is head and head is dead? Alright, shit. I'm gonna do this because I don't remember. I remember this actually ending. It turns the end of the game into something entirely different if you decide to connect to it or don't connect to it. Connect to Adam's head. Connecting to the head. Played through the game, got the ending. I've also got a question. In the end, you have a binary dialogue option that determines the ending, but it makes me wonder. Adam says that you shouldn't have connected to the head. At first, I assumed he was referring to his real severed head in Victor's lair, but after I got the ending and I used the plug to jack into the virtual Adam, this made me wonder, was the real Adam actually referring to his virtual copy instead of his own head? I wish I remembered this before I connected, so had anybody actually tried it. I walked away the first time. I was like you, and I wondered if I made a big mistake or if there was a huge difference to the ending. No, there is some certain dialogue changes, but the ending still involve... Okay. I don't want to change... I don't want to big spoilers, but connecting to this head is fucking hilarious. And it highlights some of the concepts behind what it means to be an observer and to be able to jack into people's heads. This is totally a red herring, and it's a red herring in the best possible way, and I love it. Why wouldn't I jack into his head? Adam Lazarski. Except remember, the person we pulled the head off of before was not our son. So this is either also our son's head who happens to have been removed from the body, or an entirely unrelated incident. Meat Boy eats birds.
Came to me again, the man from the looking glass. His voice is soothing, like leaves rustling in the wind. He's the only one who understands, the only one who cares. He made me see what I was lacking, what I must do. But what he's asking, am I strong enough? Of course I am. That's the coward Victor talking again. Enough talk. Ugly human words hurt my throat. I can barely get them out anymore.
It'll help if you don't scream so much.
It's time to act.
That voice acting makes me think, it reminds me of Grenier from Warframe. Go to Grim! Nothing secret or special inside of any of these helmets, I don't think. What the hell? How? How does this have the inside like that, but it fits onto the mannequin that is clearly a regular mannequin face? I don't know.
A splicer, a lunatic, and a junkie. Perfect combo.
Oh yes, of course. Wait, does that have like a little circuit board built in? Why would you need a circuit board on something that's effectively just aerating gasiating a drug? Maybe it's like a vape. Maybe you wear a vape mask. Anyway, yeah, we definitely have to connect to this head. Fuck not connecting to this head. Besides, even if I get the bad ending, it's still an ending. Funny as hell. Where's the tip? Oh, there it is. It just took a while to come out. No, you're not allowed. End of the line for you, buddy boy. No connecting. Press to start the security scan. So that's a dead head. Again, brings up the question of what the hell does it mean to try to... Like, it's illegal to jack into dead people. But I don't know if that's because they don't want their memories read or because it literally drives the observer completely insane. Okay. Ah, see that? Adam Lazarski, he was the chief of research at Chiron. Imagine he ran into some interesting things. I can't read what that says. Magna? Eloqua? Ut enim admina... Oh, is that Latin? Okay. Comdo consequenta. I imagine that says something very important. Too bad I don't speak that frickin' language. This is a disturbing walkway. Who would make a walkway out of glass like this with a bunch of wires going back and forth? So this is his memory of the inside of Chiron. Literally just giant, big, evil corp. Welcome to Abstergo. Welcome to Abstergo's shell company, Chiron. We also have a shell company, Big Boys for Big Toys. Oh boy. What is this? What is this big lore? Lore go big up. Oh, he tried to also steal information from Chiron. See, Adam was the one that's kind of masterminding collecting the information from the other girl too, the one that we found dead. She had her wet drive. Oh my god! So far in the future, and we're still using condenser dynamic mics on Shockmats. That's cute. Well, I'm legitimately at a loss for this. Shit. I want to say that it happened, that there was somewhere in the game that we could have gotten this code. I also don't know if that's the case. Big cheats for big boys. Adam head code. Adam's head Chiron code. Ken's a computer. Optional. Adam's head hidden under a sheet. Finding it will give an unexpected conversation with another person who claims to be Adam. By scanning the brain implant in his head, plugging it in. You can choose to take such a step against the warnings of the main character's phone, or you can listen to his advice and skip the optional task. Several usual scenes play. Start by interacting with the scanner. Head towards Chiron Tower once you're inside. Try to log into the database and hack the system, which you will fail to accomplish. Alright, that's it. It's literally impossible. Big cheats for big boys. I cheated so hard, I broke it. Oh yes, I remember when the televisions are angry when I screw it up. Not allowed to leave. This is the really cool part. So we almost got a memory of Adam going and trying to download something from Chiron, right? Look at me. It's the same music from a Spider game. They didn't want to make any new music. Welcome to Adam's Memories Protection System. You see this because you want to see things that I don't want you to see. Please sit tight and enjoy your last ride. Ready, steady, die. Amazing. See, this is what I was saying. Insert a coin. You totally could end up writing a program that when you jack into someone's mind, you'd accidentally fall off. Uh-oh. Everything must have coin insert. Watch your head. I don't... what? Oh, jeez. I died to this immediately. Oh, Tetris is playing. That's hilarious. I don't want to deal with this situation. Please stop. I think the score can go on for basically as long as you want. This is hilarious. Oh! Well, I guess that counted as dying. Fine by me. I think you just have to die in order to continue. Yeah, because it just continues to get harder and harder until you just eventually give up. I wonder if this section in here was, brainchilded. Oh, this is funny too. Was brainchilded by some of the developers on the team. They're like, hey, can we try to make some other genres just like as a, I don't know, weekend getaway thing so everybody can practice more? And then they're like, all right, we have these cool games that we just made. What do we do with them? Hey, you know that game that we're playing? Oh, jeez. No, I don't want to, I don't want anything that's happening now. This is too fast. No, this is, you're supposed to give me more time to adjust to the control scheme. My body is not ready for this. Nothing there. Angry car. Oh, I actually have to go into the hallway. The car went this way. The hell are you? Little dude on the side. I want to hang out with him. He seems cool. Good. Death spike trap is death. Amazing. Anyway, so they make a bunch of these games and they're like, how do we use them? Hey, you know that observer game we're making? Well, we could very easily produce a sequence in that game that's more or less completely optional and also is it fits into the universe. Why the hell not? Why waste assets, right? Oh, it looks like both of them went to the same place. I think there's an end to this. Oh, we have 100% health. Well, that's adorable. Alright, I can get this close to it. 1, 2. Oh, cool. Oh, you just hold down the button too. Yeah, I'm spamming the W button. Oh, yeah, there's probably no end to this. Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? Gonna knock me out of the brain?
Synchronization imminent. Administer medication.
So that kind of sort of implies that his head is the actual head of Adam. And for some reason he collected it and brought it here. The body stump might be the body of Adam too. I'd forgotten about that. This voice acting. You wanna do more drugs? Our ears turned back on. Oh, that head was literally just on a peg. Bleeding everywhere. I thought we just did drugs. Do we have to do more drugs?
Yes.
It's fine, I guess.
Synchrosine injected. Strain level decreased.
There we go. Everything is nice and smooth and peachy. So at this point in time, we just need to go outside and figure out what the hell he meant by sanctuary. I don't think there's anything else I can interact with. Oh, he's got a computer. I forgot about this. We talked to John Sebastian Ballard, CEO of Ballard Genetics and Augmentations. and the future of personalized modification and the fear of change. Please call me John. John, let me present you a hypothetical situation. Let's say your son turns 18. He comes to you and says, Dad, I don't feel comfortable with my body. I'm going to go get the nice folks at BG&A and have them grow testicles on my face. I read that wrong. That's fine. Well, if we had the means to pay for the treatment, I would assume he would be a very smart young man, so I would gladly hear him out and do my best to understand his decision. You're dodging the question. I'm merely pointing out how unfair it is. It's always easy for rabble-rousers to say, well, what if it was your kids? If only that's what it is. That's what he meant. They were just censoring it for the wider audiences of the internet. But in truth, this conversation has been going on for hundreds of years. When the cybernetic revolution came, there were people saying that we were all doomed, and we've gone too far. 100 years ago, a transgender person would have been shunned as a misfit and a freak of nature, which thankfully seems outlandish by today's standards. There will always be people out there who fear change. But if we reach a point where the rabble-rousers, and thanks for that, by the way, will be right, is there a limit? Is gene splicing that limit? A very wise man once said for us to be afraid of genetic research was akin to the ancient Chinese being afraid to fly kites because one day them might be crashing planes. I believe this sentence to be true even today. In terms of shaping our genome, we have barely even scratched the surface. And yet, it's being promoted as a hot new trend. We're seeing teenagers risk their lives by making these irreversible changes. Not at BG&A. We only treat consenting adults. That may be well and good, but the technology is out there, isn't it? The cat's out of the bag. Come on now, Tom. Are you really going to make the guns don't kill people argument? I'm only wondering if you think it's responsible to promote it as a fashion statement. Go kill yourself. You said it yourself. The treatment is irreversible and does involve a degree of risk, albeit small. Do you actually think anyone would make a life-altering decision of that caliber on a whim? You keep using the word treatment. Why? Well, that's because that's precisely what it is. Not really, though. I mean, it doesn't treat any illness. Well, of course it does. Frankly, I'm a bit shocked to have to explain this to you, Tom. When you speak of illness, you're clearly thinking of purely physical ailments. I'm certainly not trying to offend you, but I think it's fair to call that mindset medieval. So you're saying turning someone into a genetic hybrid is a form of psychotherapy. I'm saying that anything that helps a person feel at home in their body should not be instantly discarded. So we should just jump in with both feet? There's no place for healthy skepticism? I rarely find skepticism healthy. More often than not, it's a refuge for the prejudiced and the closed-minded. All I can ask for is to not vilify that which we don't understand. Do you consider yourself a prophet of change? I consider myself tired. It's been a very busy week. In that case, I'll let you rest. Thank you for the interview. I think it's a bit of a straw man to throw out there. Yeah, gender change would have been seen as terrible, because there are still people that think that it is terrible. I'm of the ambivalent camp. I think that you get one of two choices. You admit that it's a psychological problem, that the person has a disorder, in which case you should try to treat that before you give them life-changing surgery. Or if you don't admit that and you think that it's just a choice that somebody can make, then it becomes cosmetic, at which point neither gender matter anymore, if it's just a cosmetic change. In either circumstance, it's still a matter of whatever the hell that person decides they want to do. They're a consenting adult. They want to kill themselves, although we make that illegal. Technically, there's nothing that's going to stop the person. You should try to help them first, but you don't get a say in the matter. It's their life. As morbid as that is. A grocery list. Hey, managed to nab a new client. Guy's interested in pre-war transmitting equipment, and he's got the dosh to pay for it. Doesn't need to be mint, but it has to be in working condition. Here's a list of what he's looking for. A BBB, a Memonosynth dual-mounted receiver. The bulky industrial one, not the consumer models. A bunch of unnecessary techno jargon. Vitalia IFP fusion batteries. I'm counting on you, buddy. Don't fuck it up. Dual-mounted turrets. Yes, I too like to receive my radio transmission via dual-mounted turrets. No, they attach to the butt cheeks. The parts you sent me last week were useless. I managed to salvage the antenna, but the receiver was all busted beyond repair. And the rest were rusted all to hell. Where'd you even get this stuff? Did you dig it out of the trash? Needless to say, the client's not paying for this crap. I had to offer him a discount on my premium stuff just to keep us in business. You're on thin ice, my furry friend. You pull a stunt like that again, and you'll have to look for a new dealer. This freakish charade needs to stop. Mom and Dad are terrified, and I don't blame them. Yeah, I dug it out of your research. Oh! Mom and Dad are terrified, and I don't blame them. The whole gene splicing obsession is one thing, but the packages you've been sending them? Have we been sending them dead birds? Whatever you think they did to you, this is cruel and unusual. Vic, you're my brother, and I'll love you even if you decide to grow an extra leg and a set of horns. But please, leave Mom and Pa out of this. If you want them to accept you for who you are, just talk to them. Help them understand. I know you're not delusional, so please, get back to your family. We're not your enemies. Hoping to hear from you soon. Well, that's nice. It's always easier. Your own generation tends to have more of a understanding of the plights that you might have and the opportunities that you might take advantage of. Like, our parents won't understand things that we go through. And the next generation are probably going to come up with instances of problems that they have and solutions that they have access to that we don't agree with. And it's just going to continue along with that. You become most amicable to the things that you were exposed to while growing up. I got your message. Frankly, I couldn't have come at a worse time. These past few months have been pretty hard. Eliza's out of a job again, and with the baby on the way, I've been thinking of pulling double shifts to save up some dough. We want to have the little one spliced as soon as it gets here. I don't agree with that. I don't think any kind of thing should be done on children. Ever. Even if the parents want them to. Like, the idea of gene therapy on a child who's not even gone through puberty yet kind of pisses me off. In other words, sorry, but I don't have that kind of money. It's not that I don't trust you. I know you'd pay me back. I just can't help you this time. Hope you'll figure something out. Ain't your parents rich or something? I hear they moved to the B district. Can't you just ask them for a loan? Dear sir, we at Ballard Genetics and Augmentations are deeply saddened by the fact that you are unsatisfied with the results of your gene splicing therapy. BG&A employs only the best experts in their field and use state-of-the-art equipment in order to meet all of the patient's needs. However, we fully acknowledge our patients' rights to have immensely high expectations, even if objectively speaking they would be found unrealistic. While we are unable to provide you with the specific details regarding your treatment, we would like to remind you in cases requiring the use of genetic material from extinct species, in this instance, Canis lupus. That's an extinct species? Huh. Our experts compose unique strains obtained from our gene library. Unfortunately, we are not able to provide you with a list of our donor species or to confirm or deny whether a given species was used in the procedure. We would also like to remind you that the aforementioned fact were started in uncertain terms in the pre-procedural contract. Finally, we feel obliged to inform you that the malicious DNA tampering is a very serious accusation, one that should not be leveled lightly, unless one has strong evidence to support their claims. He wasn't happy with the first round of gene therapies. Thought they weren't beastly enough. Why you put the poodle inside me? I ask for big, strong wolf boy. Instead, you make me this little shivering piece of crap. Dumb little chihuahua. Don't you dare. Gene therapy to make back many hair. Replace arm with pistons. Of course. Leg with pistons. Face with bitey teeth. I don't know. Alright. Another one. Another one. I think it's... Yep. Just this one. Oh, jeez. Pistons. Yeah, with yet more pistons. And even some pipes here and there. Shit. I don't even know if I made it this far. How the hell do you do this one? Let's see. If we go to the left... let's see. We would come over here... And if we're in the middle, yep, Big Spider is going to move through and kill them. He's going to go back up, and we don't see him. Okay, that one you just spin around in a circle and you're good. I think we can do the same thing on this one, but we don't want to use the fire sword yet. Because I think if we pick up the fire sword... Oh! Okay, cool. They're cumulative. Still, that puts us in a position where it'll be somewhat difficult. Nope, never mind. Alright, so both of the upper sections are really easy to get through. The big boy's gonna come running as soon as he sees us. So... Shit. We only have 2 swords, and we need to get through 3 spiders. Minimum. If I go down... Ah, damn it, that used up a sword. Son of a bitch. And if I move over, he starts to see me. And there's no way that I can go into that hallway and pull out more than 1 spider at a time. Yeah, this is where I would need 1 more sword to get through and get to the princess. No, don't spill the tea! I need that for my body. Alright, upper left, upper right are really easy to get through. Our issues with the bottom section, how to solve. Mine. We need to save 1, which means we can only kill 1 of the long-range spiders. And it needs to be the one on the bottom. Because the one on the bottom is standing in front of a coin that I need to get access to. Can I go back and forth one more time? Because he jumps 2 spots each time. 1 spot. Shit. Son of bitch! Alright, we can only do it once. It just barely gives us enough room to be able to move through, though. I love how it barrels through and kills its spider contemporaries. It's just fed up with this BS, and it needs to eat. This might work. Yeah. Okay. Well, the issue is I need to run around that circle twice, so I might just have to go through it multiple times. I think this will work. We'll see here in a second. Yep. So he gets moved over every time. Yep, so he's only going to move over once or twice. That's going to grab that spider. I'm just going to take him on a big long walk with me. Oh, shit. Because I need to go down, because if I go over 2 more times, then he sees me with the sword. Damn it! How do you do this one? How to do? How to play I'm Scared. What am I missing on the bottom? Because I can only kill 1 of them. I need at least 1 sword in order to get to the princess. Right? Because I can't grab both of those spiders. And I can only go back and forth once with the big spider on the bottom. Feels like I absolutely have to kill 1 of you. Is there some direction if I go in this way will work? Because I've already went down here once, but I need to grab that other spider. And then that uses the sword. And that uses the other sword. And we're doomed! Everything is great, and I love my life. This will not defeat me. I will not be defeated by some baby-sized dumb. How would you even look up a guide for this? I mean, I'd rather not, but also... I don't got time to figure this crap out. Ah, darn it. Well, that moves him over a little bit more. That might actually be what I need. Because that'll grab the 1 spider. Oh, no, because now if I move in any direction, it's gonna lock me in and kill this spider. So I need to be able to at least kill the spider on the way to the princess, or kill these spiders on the way back out from the princess. And I don't think I can use the trailing angry spider to kill... Ah! What the hell? He moved 2 spaces. I thought that was totally gonna work. I thought I was having the clever, when it turns out I have not. In fact, I may even be the opposite. You have no proof, though, so... How to do this section down here? Yep. I can only move down to grab the coin once. I don't want to come back to it. The hell? The hell? The heck your face! Damn, there's only 2 more after this, too. I have died 16 times in my attempt to not be dumb. It's gonna be something really stupid that I figure out, too. These types of... Funnily enough, these types of puzzles only have, like, one solution. You know, it seems like they should have multiple. I'm missing something very... They move 2 spots every time they see you. So you can lose the trail. If I go down... So he needs to move over 1 more, but I can't pull him. Yeah, because that's just going to move him to the same spot again if I do that. If I go down to the bottom row, long spider ends up having to be killed. Let's try to kill the top long spider this time. No, that won't work because this is just going to kill... I wasted both swords again! I know the solution to this is really simple. It has to be really simple. But by the nature of what the game is. Fire and sword spiders. Isn't this music amazing? None of your smoky stuff. Right. You get those, you get that one. Soup's easy. I don't think this guy knows how to solve it either. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yup, I knew it. It was something really simple. Something so very incredibly simple. Ha! Wow. It's stupid too, because it's like the one that I got stuck on for the longest time. I couldn't figure out that I needed to use the princess's tile. My preconceived notions of how to play the game were don't touch the princess until you've already gotten all the coins. So I never used that tile. If I'm gonna kill one of the spiders, it doesn't matter when I kill them. Wow, that was so hard. I just couldn't figure it out. I'm just too dumb for this world. Grab that spider. Grab that spider. And now I can just wander my ass in and grab the princess. Wait, what? Okay, what am I missing here? I didn't watch it to the end. And I just assumed that I could wander my ass over there. This is good. This means that even by using big cheats, I cannot win. The universe is not okay with the big cheats. That seems correct. Grab one, move him over, grab the other. My issue is that I didn't move this spider over far enough. So I don't think it's supposed to be that one. It might be, but... No. Yeah, that's as far over as I can get him. Because if I move up one, he's moved over twice. And now he's in line with me. Again. preconceptions are screwing me over. Now I can go into the corner, back up, and come grab it. It's so simple. It's so simple. Hey, this is open for me now. I think this is our son can now hack into shit at distance and let us wander around the compound. So we were supposed to jack into his head, but I don't think it makes a big difference at the end. All we really got was that our son was involved in Chiron, and that he doesn't want us as his father to know. Oh boy, you hear that? You hear some sound effects? Some big bads are happening. Small boy has bested the biggest puzzle. Like, I know that big enemy is supposed to be like, hey, look at me, I'm the thing that kills you and you should be scared. But I legitimately have no idea what it's supposed to be. It just is. I think it's supposed to represent some sort of, like, protection that Chiron or our son or something is employing in an attempt to get us off of a trail somewhere. But it might literally just be in my head. Did I fail the big puzzle? Dude, imagine walking in, like, imagine a dude just in the middle of the road, and suddenly he just throws himself backwards onto the cement, screaming. Like, what the hell, dude? Didn't you see that big fucking monster? When's the last time you took your pills, boy? Do I need to bring you to the doctors now? It's like the angry music is playing. It's giving us ambience, but we're completely safe. Oh, what game does that remind me of? There was a game of a similar caliber of this, of like sort of first-person survival horror, that was, after a short while, you realized that you were absolutely never in danger, even though the music kept trying to portray it as if you were in danger. It may have been Layers of Fear. Hell, it might even have been this game, but Detective Pikachu. The absolute horror of Detective Pikachu. When I say recently, I mean like within the last 2 years. But yeah. Hey, Detective Pikachu, as campy as it was, it actually ended up being a lot better of a game than I thought it would be. And I'm actually legitimately excited to see how they're going to adapt that into a film. Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good camping. It'll be better than that fucking Skyscraper that just came out recently. That factory floor cookie cutter ass movie. Whom they hired The Rock because he's a big wrestle boy and can grunt well. It's almost not even bad enough to make fun of. Or it's almost not even... It's almost so bad you can't make fun of it. So I would like to point out that there's the stacks, and literally right next to it is Sanctuary, which is like a Class B. We'll find out here. It's like a VR hangout. It's like a Class B or higher place, right next to this place that's completely locked up right now. No one can get in or out of because of the lockdown. You have to go through the lobby of that of this apartment building to get to this tattoo parlor and this VR place. VR place fashioned after junk. I wonder what it would be like to live in a city inside of a high-rise skyscraper. Having to fucking take the elevator to leave your house every day. That would weird me out. Because the only time I ever take elevators are, you know, when you are hanging out at a A hotel of some kind. I've never had to take an elevator to a place of living. A residence of house. I would feel like there's this disconnect. Our vision's starting to fall apart. Drugs.
Synchrosine injected. Strain level decreased.
How much you want to bet that this music is just playing in my head? Like, it's not because video game. I'm actually hearing this music, and us as the detective with the brain implants are like, this shit happens every day, whatever. I'm not freaked out. It's fine. So yeah, these are just VR pods. You know what they look like? They look like old ass CRT TVs with the wood trim around them. Oh, that's great. God, I love that retro future design. Why would you be so concerned about the... You know what? This actually probably did used to be a church. And then they retrofitted it into this... Well, whatever the hell this is. Land of the VR. Hello, smiley mouths. I've done that before. It's kind of creepy when you make eyes or mouths spin around, like keyframe them to just 3 spots a couple pixels away. Yeah. Dude, this entire game is very kind of reminiscent of The Evil Within, at least within regards of like, look at look, my brain make bad stuffs happen. But yeah, like the future tech imposed on Big Church. This is very Evil Within. I haven't actually played through any of them. I have the first one. I made it through the tutorial, and then once it opened up and like, this is actually this, I decided I didn't want anything to do with it. How do you turn this on again? I know this is what I'm supposed to interact with. Or was it on this side? Yeah. But I know the second one looks like it is a lot more cohesive of an experience.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Sanctuary Salon.
Oh, it's a
Please state your
salon.
full name.
Go fuck yourself. I tell no man my name. What am
What
I?
is this place?
Sanctuary Salon, established 2074. The salon offers top-quality virtual reality experiences, expertly crafted to meet our customers' needs. Sanctuary, your
I heard it
safe
didn't have as many
refuge in an
game-ending
unsafe
glitches, too.
world.
Yeah, Evil Within 2 was a little lackluster. Although I enjoyed watching a Let's Play of it, and it was fun.
What do you need my name for?
Customer
Okay, it didn't
needs
have
to
as
know
many
in order to
game-breaking
confirm a
bugs.
reservation.
Within an hour. Hey, you know what? Detective Pikachu is so far the only game I've played on this channel that I haven't experienced a game-breaking bug. I'm not saying that means it's a better game than Evil Within, but I think it's a better game than Evil Within. There wasn't a game-breaking bug in... No, you weren't there, but there were twice that I crashed the game. One of them actually threw me out into
Daniel Lazarski.
a debugger
Identity
after I died.
confirmed.
It'll be in the
Subscription
highlights, you'll see it.
active. Thank you, Mr. Lazarski. Your capsule is ready.
Yeah, I crashed the game once really hard, and then I soft bricked it when I was fighting a boss. He switched to his second form, and then the game just hung. Like, the animations were still, the passive animations were still playing, but that was it. This one mine? That does not look like a touchscreen. What's the synergy between having a brain implant that allows me to read other people's memories and jumping into VR? I imagine there may be some issues involved in this process. This is kind of the end of the game, though. And now we get to finally meet our son in VR. Because in reality, he's ahead. Ahead of nothing because he's dead. Ha. In Nintendo games you play probably won't have those kinds of bugs, or at least as much. Yeah, Nintendo does tend to have a much more sheen and polish. I saw some guy stumble into this section of the game like, oh, now we're in hell. Nah, boy, these are clearly dendrites. These are neurons with all their silly connective tissues. No, they're not trees. They're supposed to represent neurons. Get it? Because they're pretty? Dude, what I wouldn't... Oh, man, what if a scene like this showed up in a Deus Ex game? No, the trees are cool. They're not... They do not have any illnesses. They're fine. Jeez. Would you be more sensitive? I think this is actually kind of a pretty cool visualization of the idea of having an augmentation, neurological anyway, because these are the trees are on the outside are supposed to represent our brain firing neurons, connecting tissue, whatnot, literal brain tissue, and then this is a tree look-alike, but it's an implant, and it branches out and interacts with the rest of our brain. I refuse to admit those are anything else other than beautiful trees. It just doesn't fit your narrative, huh? Hey, look, it's our son.
Yes. I know it's hard to believe after all you've seen, but I need you to trust me on this. We don't have much time.
What about the
Nah.
body I found?
It's complicated. What you found wasn't me.
Oh, no, are we pulling a...
But I'm
This is
here
pulling
right
another
now,
fucking Soma.
And I need your help.
I gotta play that
You're
too.
my son. Prove it.
How would I do that?
Try. Tell me something only we would know.
That doesn't really work. His brain's working real hard. Look at all that brain.
When I was a child,
That took a while.
you'd sometimes wake me up before dawn. We'd go down to the river and watch the sunrise together. Hoping for that smog to clear just enough that we could see the mountains. And it never happened. Of course.
But we kept trying, didn't we?
But yeah, I didn't catch that before last time I played, but he very much was like, oh, that's not actually me anymore. That's just my dead body I left behind. No, if you make a copy of yourself, now you are both living creatures with your own autonomy. If you kill the body you came from, that you made the copy from, that's still fucking murder. You cannot consent to murdering your clone if it can also make the decision on its own. You are two separate entities now. Doesn't matter how you came into being. One of you lost the coin flip and has been murdered. I thought that said Hong Kong from Charon. Whoops. Yeah, I think he's
You
hiding.
were hiding here in the stacks.
Yes. When they terminated my project, I hid where they wouldn't look for me. In time, I found people who were willing to help me. I managed to retrieve most of my data and carry on with my research.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was sneaking out his data owned by Chiron that he was working on. But he kind of became a little overzealous with regards to his project. And now look at him. He's a TV, part of a tree, inside of a VR sanctuary. I did that intentionally. Nobody can say otherwise. You can't prove anything.
What were you working on?
Imagine if all your thoughts, your memories, everything that defines you could be transferred into a digital realm, to exist long past your physical body, beyond limitations, beyond sickness and death.
Beyond being human. Just to keep existing. Sounds like a living nightmare.
Yeah, kind of like most of this game. Heavy fever dream.
You wouldn't understand, but you will soon.
Oh, is this zealotry due to what happened to their mother? Big bad happened to mom.
Helena saved your research.
Yeah, why'd you have her killed, you dum-dum?
Yeah, so we got her killed.
Yes.
No, you.
And Amir too.
It wasn't a part of the plan, but I had to. The project was too important, Dad.
What about the surgery?
Dad, you don't understand me. I only murdered a couple people.
He admired what I was trying to accomplish. Actually, I think he wanted to be me.
Yeah, he probably wanted to back up too. escape from all of the nonsense of being forced to live in the stacks after fucking up.
I still don't see how the splicer fits into all this.
He doesn't. That's why we didn't see him coming. He was an unforeseen factor. A convenient tool.
And Adam was the man in the mirror trying to get the splicer to basically act for him as a proxy, because it's kind of hard to do shit in the real world without a body.
When did you become this digital ghost?
Why can't you just make a robot body and put it in there?
I had to
Do you need bigger server farms than what we have? You can control it wirelessly.
Hoping they couldn't follow me into the web.
But they could.
They came after me with a virus.
Mmm.
Interkiller algorithm. It's
That's what that
automated
thing
through my
is.
defenses. If they break down, I'll be gone for good.
I've just seen it happenstance, but that thing that's been chasing me was literally a virus chasing him down.
If I could bust out of the building's internal network, I might be able to outrun it.
So we need to lift the damn lockdown.
The source of the signal is well protected. It's like the mother of all firewalls. Which leaves us only one option.
A manual override.
That's where you come in.
Now I remember. And we've basically gotten past all of the crazy stuff, or anything that would be a spoiler. So, the lockdown was not in response to the phage. The lockdown was in response to Chiron realizing that he was stealing data and effectively trying to trap him and murder him because he escaped into his special tech realm. He is now a digital ghost. So they wrote a fucking virus program that shows up as, like, a horror creature from Amnesia to try to kill him, and he can't run away because there's no interwebs. I imagine they're also... maybe they're not murdering him because of him breaking contract. Maybe they're trying to murder him because of the fact that being a human being directly inside of the net could probably have very wide-reaching consequences. Imagine having that kind of control over data, like being part of data. Chiron would probably be invaded instantly and just destroyed. He would kind of be able to launch nukes. Especially with the zealotry of, you don't understand that, I only murdered a few people.
I couldn't pinpoint the exact location, but I've narrowed it down. Seems to have originated in the adjoining building.
He's not telling us the whole story, though.
I think it's the epicenter of all this madness. The signal appears to be coming from the upper levels.
And Dad? Watch your step. Chiron still has control over that place. And you.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's what you think. The more you struggle, the harder they try and get into your head.
Oh, this just keeps getting better.
Darkest before dawn. Which reminds me, once you get out, follow the light.
Alright, where's the indication? So we wake up from VR. Let's see. The big mind fuck will happen at the very end of the game. Effectively, the endings of the game. We still have access to our case log. We still have access to our special visions. Nothing has changed. It's a little more sunshiny outside. Huh. They did a good job. Okay. I'm gonna spoil it here. Probably because if you've not figured it out by now, having the big reveal at the ends, I doubt it's something you care about because you're watching somebody else play the game. We're still in that VR seat. And there's pretty much no indication that that's the case. Unless I'm missing something. There's only a slight change to this. Now, I would like to postulate, if you want to try to answer, why would we still be in the VR seat? Okay. There it is. There's that indicate. I can't use my visions. I do have access to my case log, but I can't turn on I can't turn on biotech or night vision. I just get an error. Maybe it's not done replicating it or something. We can't go out the front door. Do we have to interact with the console over here? Oh yeah, we do. Because there is a, I believe, secret passage that we need to take. Somewhere. Is it the chair? Was it off to the side? Shit, I don't remember. I thought it like went down. Do I have to unplug the computer terminals? Look at that like hunk of copper exposed. That's crazy. Alright, this is frustrating. Do I need to turn the dial? Look at all of this old analog monitoring pieces of hardware for people in full immersion VR. How is that even possible? What does that even do? Dice Hotel. This door was locked before. I think now we can open it. There it is. We can go up the stairs. Still don't have access to that vision, boy. We gotta play the secret button. So we can unlock the secret elevator. It's just a VR cage around the outside so we don't feel like we can jump. Isn't that like... It doesn't physically let me walk through it, but I'm sure you've seen videos of people. Look at this! Look at this! Walking through the front of the goddamn church. There was technically a walkway above the church connecting to something, but this is just stupid. This is just like, okay, I guess. Why would Chiron have this installed here? Hello, Hal. Give me a scan. Okay. If you insist. Oh, it doesn't open. Do we have to use the access doorway? Yep. That opened for us for some reason. This is it. The source of all of this madness. Whatever caused the lockdown is lurking within. No turning back now. So the real test is going to be if the hunter-killer still shows up. That's cool. Like, this is very clearly... We're still in VR, but... Apparently, these people had the nanophage.
It really is the fucking phage. Okay. You've been exposed anyway. Keep it together.
So we're now being fed a lie, a narrative. The lockdown was not because of the phage. Why would our son, a digital construct, want us to sit in a VR chair and have the lock... And he's told us that he's stuck in because of the lockdown trying to get killed by the hunter-killer algorithm? He wouldn't have any reason to lie about that, right? This is a way better ending than BioShock Infinite. Nobody seemed to care.
Someone out there, help me, please.
Maybe people just don't like the gameplay. Because BioShock Infinite actually had gameplay. This is just a walking simulator.
They've locked us in. Those bastards. We're not even sick. Let us out.
How do I open the capsules?
I think there's a control room nearby. Just follow the light.
I'll do what I can.
Just follow the light.
If you can't help me, please. My son is still out there.
That's what Adam said.
Insane,
Oh.
Do something to our boy. You can't let that happen.
If I can find him, I'll get him out.
Thank you. You've always been such a good boy.
What?
What did you say?
What have you done? Why is my brain? How could this have happened? Oh, lady's gone. There was no one in there the whole time. This is so cool. It's so cool. Imagine having a psychosis, like being insane. You know, people with schizophrenia and whatnot, they act on those understandings of reality because they cannot differentiate between their hallucinations and what is reality on occasion. Imagine someone else being able to actively control what your reality is without your knowledge or consent, maybe even for the entirety of your life. Of course, that question's brought up on occasion, like the whole Matrix movies were basically that. How do you know your reality is real? Yeah? Oh, I guess he decided he couldn't deal with it anymore. Also, why are we cutting up apples and what appears to be a tongue on a picnic table in the middle of a nanophage outbreak containment facility? That's probably foreshadowing. That's not supposed to be there. Those are kind of tiny beds. That's like 4 feet across. Who the hell is that small? These are like cubby holes. Like downtown Tokyo style cubby holes. Yeah, that's not a door that's supposed to exist in here. And then obviously we can take into account the fact that we're getting a bunch of audio static.
I want this entire floor purged.
Sir, some of the patients are still symptom-free.
For now, we need to cut our losses. I'm not losing all my subjects out of some misguided sense of empathy.
The killer program is still here. Nope, still can't activate our special vision. This is such a cool final setting of this game. We've been seeing Chiron referenced everywhere, and suddenly we're just hanging out in the Chiron place. Hey, boyo. What are you gonna do about it? I bet you're a big dumb. But you can't catch me if I go in every single one of these cubby holes. You can even roll off the fact that our vision is being static by the fact that we have all of the neurological implants that we do. Like, I don't even know if it was intentional or not, but this game is so well put together as a cohesive just experience to be had. It's a shame people don't like these kinds of games. And again, a lot of people don't like reading books. Thinking is just uncomfortable. It is sometimes, don't get me wrong. You like to eat healthy most of the time, but sometimes an entire pint of ice cream just fucking disappears on you. Sometimes it just happened. What happened? You don't know. Why or how. This section's not done yet, is it? I thought I remember that being a lot harder than it just was. I want to use my special vision. I need to look with my special eyes. Yeah, this is definitely the harder part of this section. Even if we do get seen, I think we can just duck into one of the cubby holes and we'll be fine. I do wish the visual effect of our vision going screwy wasn't as obtrusive as it's presented here. I mean, I like it. It does kind of add to the horror feeling of the event here, but... oh no. Here he comes. He's gonna find me. He's gonna do me big scare. Is this just so that I can go around him, or... why does he sound like he has flesh on his bones? Hey. Look at big scary man with his toga. You trying to accomplish something? Oh, I love those strings. That sounds really cool. Is he gonna do anything in particular, or do I just need to backtrack? Kinda wanna touch him. The death scenes are interesting. You done? You just hanging out? I think I'm supposed to go this way. Yeah. Okay. So you just get stuck to let you continue moving forward. I'm gonna go over here because I hear the bad footsteps happening. Even though I think that's the direction I'm supposed to go in. I know it's a video game, so that you have to have the big bads. I still feel like out of everything that was this experience, this hunter-killer algorithm, as it's called, is probably the worst part. Mostly because of the fact that it's kind of only thrown in to give the game. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any game. And I also find it relatively intriguing that they decided to make... Like, it's quite literally just a giant monster, right? Why would you need to give a virus a 3D model? Huh? Why does that make any sense? Like, this is supposed to represent an advanced hunting algorithm, so as to catch the rogue ghost in the shell. But instead it needs a big old piston punching arm. Like a Fallout style, God, what is that? It's literally just a fist weapon, but it's like on a bunch of hydraulics, or pneumatics. It just makes you punch real good. Or there's the stake driver in Bloodborne. That's fun too. Yeah, okay. So this is a big scary section. Supposed to be following the light. I think this is pretty much it. There was the first section in the game where... Or not the first section. The second lady you come into contact with, the one that's doing the data smuggling, she had this hunter-killer algorithm in her mind, trying to purge the data that she had collected. And then... there was... Why is the music freaking out? Oh, I probably have to go towards the red back there. Then, the next time we ran into Big Death, Many Kill Man, it was on our way to try to go and find the splicer. Yeah? Okay, that man just teleported. That's fine. I don't really mind. That's not a big deal. Which, that's the next section that you could die from him anyway. Shit, I'm going. See you guys later. Can't catch me, I can run real fast. And then this is it. This is the third time you ever run into Big Scary Chase Monster. Because he's a dumb idiot trying to find the hiding data. How stupid is that? Revision gonna clear up anytime soon? No? Okay. So this is supposedly where the firewall is? That are... Remember, we're not aware of the fact that we're still in VR. We think this is reality. Uh-huh.
Run!
I'd love to, Mother. So the hunter-killer algorithm became a giant fleshy monster, and it was banging our mother's dead body against the window there, using our broken psychology against us. Oh, that color palette shift. Oh, that's actually really cool. We did it. We turned off the big bad. Now our son can become a ghost on the internet. Aren't we just the greatest father? The hell are you banging on about? Must you be so aggressive? You aren't even the pizza. I think I have to go through those. Maybe not. Maybe I have to go this way. This is just awkward. Like, we have a very specific model of us. And I don't know if it was for realism or because that's how our model worked, but like every time I adjust, the camera shakes back and forth to represent us like settling with our legs. Except that doesn't work so much when you need to physics puzzles. The hell was that? The hell are you? Dude, imagine being the fucking the tech man who has to take care of this many cables everywhere. Your non-Euclidean cables that clip through your lights. That nonsense. Is this just going around in a circle to those cables that we missed? I thought we had to unplug them. Oh, you know what? Unplugging them, I think, was an optional thing. Oh, did the lights turn off? It's not blue anymore? I'm pretty sure there's just a nanophage, another one of those nanophage cards back there to collect. I didn't know we weren't supposed to backtrack. We can go this way. It's not stopping us. We can't go that way. It is stopping us. You are not allowed to backtrack. Oh, that's cool. Alright, so it restarts from the beginning of this section. So I guess there's a big timer. And the tentacles of death are coming. I just wanted to unplug the cables. There's not a lot of gameplay here, but when there's gameplay, we gotta take advantage of it, right? Look at that. We've broken everything. Yep, there's just another nanophage card back here that we can barely read. Ready for disposal. Jesus. That's supposed to represent anything in particular? I think we might be on a timer for the tentacles grabbing us. I mean, they play with perspective a lot. So it wouldn't... Oh, this is already pushed back for us. Even when we fail, we do all right. Like that one, the whole section with Beast Boy where we kept constantly growing and shrinking. Things kept getting smaller and bigger. Do that in VR, that's fucking trippy. Because you get the depth perception along with the objects actually getting bigger or smaller. So they look like they're the same distance away from you, but they get smaller. Whereas with the 2D objects on a screen, you can give the illusion of that with shadows and whatnot, but it still doesn't have nearly the same effect. Well, there comes the tentacles. They're gonna get me. So we know that we're still in VR. And this is effectively us attempting to break through the firewall. He's sending in our brain, I think. And the whole reason we're in VR, the whole reason this entire venture exists is because the son is trying to steal father's body. Because of the way that neural implants work for him. Oh boy, my favorite body horror. But of course, Chiron moonlights as a Resident Evil front. It's actually Umbrella Corp. Oh, and the organ from the church is playing. Is the organ from the church playing in real life and we're hearing it in VR? Oh, that would be cool. No, I don't know if this whole section is just an attempt to try to get us, like, distracted long enough to override our mind, or if it's a legitimate thing that we're actually accomplishing. Because it's just things are given to us too frequent. Alright, you coming? You You're just gonna throw a bunch of paper plates at me? That's okay. May I leave now? Become one. I don't like the tags for this game. We got Vor, we got Unbirthing. Would you not?
There must have been a misunderstanding. I was told you decided not to undergo the augmentation procedure.
Yes.
Just to be clear, you do realize that drastically decreases your chances of recovery?
I made my decision. Thank you.
Honey, I'm proud of you. You can do this.
We still don't know what she's sick with, or what the augment was supposed to do.
I'll be there for you.
I am speculating some sort of degenerative neurological disorder, and without a neurological implant, brain surgery is a very low chance of survival.
You owe me this much. Promise me you'll take care of him. Whatever it takes.
So we got the roses and we got the pigeons as imagery. Is that related to me? As that has nothing to do with the stacks?
Mom was very sad. I asked her what was wrong, and she said the doctors could cure her.
The stacks not exist?
She wasn't sure if she wanted them to.
It's not that simple. What the doctors wanted to do, there was a heavy price to be paid. She wouldn't be herself. She wouldn't be your mom anymore.
Yeah, so it would probably be a pretty heavy
That's not
neurologically
what I'm
invasive
asking.
augment.
I want to know, did Mom decide for herself? Did she really want this?
Of course she did.
Is this supposed to just
Your mother
represent
believed she was
the
strong
corruption
enough
of
to
the
do this
mind
thing.
by technology?
I did too.
But she wasn't. I just wanted her to be alright. Why didn't you save her?
Get over it, little boy. Shit happens. You know how many people have died in the history of humanity before you existed? Oh, Adam holds a fucking grudge still, doesn't he? He's still mad at us about his mom. That's why he's gonna steal our body. Jerk. Be nice. We can make a better moral judgment one way or the other.
There's barely anything left of him. Can he hear us?
Yes, but he's very weak. Please make this brief.
Dad, it's pretty bad. They need to replace a few parts.
Oh,
Is that why he was told to voice act so poorly? Because like most of his brain got replaced?
Easy there. Listen, it's either this or spend the rest of your life in a fucking jar.
no.
Is that operation machinery?
Your kid. Who's gonna take care of him? What is it, Dan?
Whatever it takes.
30 cc's of cortisone stat. I need any non-medical staff out.
Hang in there, buddy. They're gonna fix you up real good.
So this entire ending sequence kind of brings into question the rest of the game. How much of it was actual things from the people you've mind-jacked into, and how much of it was previous experiences you've had? Or is any of it real? Isn't ambiguity just the greatest goddamn thing in the world?
You're such a fucking hypocrite and you don't even see it.
I thought I was right. I didn't know any better.
And now our son is pissy.
When it was her life on the line. But when it comes to saving yourself, you're pragmatic all of a sudden?
I had to take care of you. I made a promise to her.
Oh.
You don't get to use her as an
We were the big bad all along.
What did you want me to do? Give up?
That's what you made her do.
That's what the big bad looks like as an observer.
Every time I look at you, I see this monster that killed my mom.
An incredible abstraction.
We made it. I understand.
Yeah, this entire game has just been psychotherapy to get for his son to get his dad to understand. You just don't understand, man, says the child who uploaded his goddamn brain to a computer. This whole family's just a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Also, didn't the mother decide on her own not to get augmented to save her life? Oh, I wonder, did we get contacted to become an observer after our augmentation? Because of the augmentation's ability to let us be that, and we didn't really have any other choices in terms of vocational options. This isn't creepy at all.
Adam, what the hell is this?
Core. You made your way here. Now let me in.
Let you in? What about the lockdown? The virus?
The virus will get to me no matter what. Here, or out in the web. It's only a matter of time.
You need a place to hide.
I need a host. A unique specimen. Detached from the web at large.
Everything is so calm. And yet, this is one of the most horrific situations a human being could be in.
The lockdown was just an excuse to get me. Why lie?
What else could I do? They had you so looped in your repressed memories, I had to break you out somehow. Now that you're finally free, we can beat this thing.
They had me looped in my repressed memories. Does that imply Chiron, upon giving me my augmentations, also tampered with the augmentations in such a way so as to maintain obedience and make me docile? Or is he just full of shit? Because, like, we have been experiencing the effect of the big monster, the big bad that we're supposed to be, throughout the majority of the experiences that we've had here. But those were created by him in an attempt to get us to understand, break out of like legit, you'd have to sit down and like spend months analyzing this shit, handwriting notes and doing research to try to piece together what's real and what's not.
The host. I guess that's supposed to be me.
Yes. An observer's mind is isolated, detached from the grid. It's the only place where I can hide. Fortress that the virus won't be able to penetrate.
Is even this real?
Then what?
Oh, it's amazing. Our minds will merge.
Merge?
Yeah. It might sound weird, but our minds kind of hook up. We plug into each other.
Sorry, you lost me.
You are losing it. Your sanity's hanging by a thread, Dad. But I can help you regain control of your senses.
Does this sound like a deal with the devil or what? Just wow. After everything else that he's put us through bullshit-wise, do you think that our minds will hook up, or do you think he'll just completely overwrite ours?
I can't trust you anymore. You lied.
Have it your way. It's still up to you. Save us both, or make me to die and go on with this fever dream of existence.
I mean, if I had another person inside my head, wouldn't that be, like...
Since tonight,
even more of a fever dream.
I'm growing weaker by the second. Soon, I won't be able to maintain a connection.
Downloading an entire human brain would probably take quite a while. So, this is the big choice you get at the end. And it's effectively either you let the sun trick you, and he steals your body, and you effectively die in the process. He pushes your consciousness out and puts it somewhere else. Or you try to walk away, and he forcibly takes your fucking body anyway, except now you have the drive and animosity that comes with being forced out, and you fuck his shit up, and you both die. That's the true ending, I believe. Because this is kind of an abomination. We're both kind of an abomination. Yeah, I'm gonna both die. I'm just gonna... Oh man, don't plug in. Don't do it. So now while our minds are trying... While he is giving me the eviction notice, I'm getting a bit of his memories.
You killed yourself.
An iteration of myself.
An iteration of myself.
Then what are you?
I'm Adam.
Which one?
The only one left.
Killed him. The real Adam.
We still brought that up before.
He killed dozens. Iteration after iteration, laid to waste in pursuit of his grand design. Why should one more make a difference?
You're fucking unreal. He was my son.
I am your son. So what if he had the real body? You're clinging to a version of me that hated you. As if that was all that made him. Me. Your son.
Why did you kill him? You tried to... Well, we know why he killed him. It's the same concept that came up in Soma. It's, if there are two copies of me, neither one of them can really be called the real me. So if I'm making a copy, I have to kill what created the copy. Kind of the whole Star Trek teleporting thing. Technically, you've murdered yourself in order to get here, but because that other thing didn't get an option to retaliate or murder, to try to protect itself, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's a string of continuity in the consciousness of each copy, and because you always take care of the business, you don't have to worry about the moral quandary of it. You don't even think about it. But in this instance, this was just kind of another zealot doing his big future. So why did you try to kill me if you needed me as a host?
The splicer was breathing down my neck. You sent him. Appreciate it.
He was never supposed to go after you, but the drugs and the paranoia took over. After that, well, he went full on feral.
Uh-huh.
It's not a toy.
Ironic, coming from an observer.
Ironic coming from a big mind head. You kill... Don't mind me, I'm just your son. Well, you killed a bunch of people in pursuit of a greater thing. No. No, you're a murderer.
Why did the others have to die?
I couldn't let any word of this reach Chiron. They would stop at nothing to track me down.
Way to cover your ass.
Think of me what you will. But you know the corporation. They would claim this gift for themselves.
Gift.
I want to share it with the world. I regret what I had to do, but it was necessary evil.
I read a book recently. Everybody was basically immortal because your consciousness is constantly backed up on a little disc that sits as your vertebrae in your neck. You end up with, just like this. the more technology and power you have, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. You end up with a huge stratification of people, just as we are in this situation. Why did you kill yourself?
Why? Why did you kill him?
Yeah, we know. We know.
Kill or be killed.
The virus.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I forgot about that.
How dangerous you are.
Maybe. Or maybe he realized he had succeeded. He created the superior version of himself, and it terrified him.
Yeah, it's altered carbon. Huh. Yeah, I watched it. It's a little bit different, but they're both fantastic. That's my genre, man. That's definitely my favorite.
So what the hell makes you better?
He was driven by hatred, obsessed with the idea of not becoming you. He never came to understand. But I did.
Uh-huh.
Just help me out, man. You're losing me.
We're all freaks of nurture, Dad. Your choices, your mistakes, they were all unavoidable. You can't blame us for what we are.
Nope. You're still able to maintain a moral compass, even in a situation like this. Yeah, the fact that you were willing to kill indiscriminately in order to save yourself, I mean, it kind of makes sense. A feral animal backed into a corner, but this was cold and calculated. Adam was working his research on creating these instances, and all of the people involved in his smuggling of getting the information out, because he was a senior researcher and he got fired by Chiron, so he started working in the stacks. He was never going to call his dad. This is the Adam that called us because he wanted a body. That's literally all that this entire game has been. Real Adam made a fake Adam. Fake Adam killed the real Adam in an attempt to solidify his identity. And now fake Adam called Dad and said, "Hey, you got some room in your apartment upstairs? Because I gotta move out. The tenants are trying to literally murder me. Probably because I am a big angry head."
I'm tired. Let's get this over with.
Very well. If you think you're ready to make your choice. Will you let your son die? Or will you save me?
Here's another interesting thing. It doesn't matter which you choose, because he effectively takes over in entirety regardless if you embrace or reject. Embracing him leads to a cutscene where he walks out the hallway of the front of the apartment complex, talks to the guy with the big the warhead man, and you see in the mirror, and he smiles and he's like, "Hey Dad, I'm taking over now, ha ha ha." And then you kind of like lose your whole string and consciousness. Basically, you get like a locked-in syndrome where you're stuck in the body and he has complete control. If you reject him, he leaves you in a robot and kicks you out entirely. And then a funny thing happens after that. Well, it's not funny, but it's we were led to that situation afterwards. But yeah, we don't want to embrace. We want mega death. We want extra death to go way up.
My son is gone. I'm not sure anymore who or what you are, but you will pay for what you did.
That's disappointing. I was hoping we could do this the easy way. But since you failed to see reason, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to insist.
And what? Break into my brain?
What do you think I've been doing for the past hour? I've been chipping away at you ever since you got into that capsule.
You're breaking
Yeah.
No, Dad.
The whole going to Chiron thing was literally just a front.
I didn't want to do this.
It was just a distraction.
I want to live.
Forever and a day. Go to hell.
After you.
Yeah.
I regret it, Mustang. this way. You see, without a willing host, I need to force you out. Fortunately, I have found a better place for you.
What if I wasn't willing? Like, if I said I was, but then you went into my brain and I just left? Like, would I have been able to overpower my son's consciousness? Uh-oh, we got unplugged. Now our batteries will run out. So we didn't sit down in that chair, but that's the one that we've been sitting in this entire time. I think I did everything that I needed to get the other part of this ending. I hope I did. Yeah, this is taking a while, so something will come up. Who else in this story has a big chunk of computer real estate in their brain?
There you are. Bad drone.
Bad drone always wandering off.
Someone did a number on you. Teach you to walk their off. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Old Janus is gonna fix you up.
Need to get out.
Remember he was involved in a big old plasma sweep? Whose memory did we just see?
Sorry, Janus. No other way.
And we just put the rest of what was left of his consciousness into the robot. And the robot died. We just killed him. But now we have a body. And we're gonna go use it. I thought it was kind of appropriate the way that the game ended in this sense, because in the beginning we got to learn about Janus. We learned that, you know, he's not all there. Most of what made him Janus is gone, and his family has completely disowned him. And when we questioned him about it, he straight up said, "I've moved on. That part of my life is done. There's nothing left of Janus anymore."
The lockdown has now been lifted. Thank you for your cooperation.
So he's effectively already accepted that he's done. And there's our asshole.
The situation is under control.
Just fucking punch him in the face. Never gonna happen. Janus, keep going. Oh no, what else? How do we do this situation? Isn't there something else that didn't kill him?
Is he breathing? Wait, checking. I think
Yeah, that kind of leaves it out there to maybe we killed him. At least we got one final punch in. We got to punch our asshole son in the face before we left. Way better than dying in the robot. And also Janus was kind of already done anyway, so... Don't feel good about killing Janus to do that. But there's a little bit of a moral justification going on. The game presents it as kind of being the superior moral choice. Because saying yes to your son is absolutely the bad end. The fucker he literally makes fun of you as he walks away while you're stuck inside his head. He takes assuming direct control forever. I gotta imagine, though, that he's only using you as a stepping stone because you're dying, you're falling apart and hanging on to sanity by a thread, right? So, wouldn't putting yourself into a body that's like a year out from dementia. Dementia of an observer? Wouldn't that be kind of a stupid design decision? Like, wouldn't... I feel like there could have been a lot of other instances of pulling in, like, newer observers, or maybe even using Janus. Because all he needed to do was get a body to escape the lockdown, and then go and build a better one, probably. His whole thing is, I have become a zealot. I have become so insistent on my own survival that I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do everything that I can. Stop at nothing. Meaning he's probably gonna continue to jump his consciousness through bodies over and over and over again. But yeah, that immortality by using a variety of bodies. How much of it is still you anymore? And you end up being an incredibly kind of broken, fragmented individual. You're basically just an amount. You know what they say, that you are effectively the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. That's kind of the case in this circumstance, where you'd kind of just constantly be changing as a human being. You might have some memories of your past, but for the most part, you're just going to be whatever the last 20 years or so have dictated you are. Even if you live for hundreds of thousands of years, you're still going to ultimately end up being kind of just a human robot. So yeah, cool game. Presents a lot of interesting concepts. It has the big super cool twists at the end that I liked. It had like 4 twists all right in a row. And nobody wants to live in this world. So everybody that we can, present these questions and problems to, so that they can realize... I don't want to, like, make sure you know what's coming, guys! No, that's dumb. But stuff like this exists, media like this exists, science fiction exists in general, so as to ask the questions before the problems come in to play. So that, like, a very tuned down version of this, it's not going to be so hellscapey. But something like this might come into play, and people are going to have to answer whether or not it's a viable thing to do. Because augments are only going to keep getting better until we end up with nanomachines, son. Oh, that was Observer. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too, Taylor. The only person who ever shows up to these damn streams. Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be Metroid Prime 1. Maybe we'll get some other stuff later, but... Yeah, it's even going to be Prime 1 version with the waggle stick controller. Can't wait to punch something with it on accident. Kind of want to keep playing games, but I think I'm just going to set that up and finish watching... No, I did finish watching that. What? I gotta watch a different anime now. Yeah. I didn't punch the microphone this stream! I'm a professional now! Alright. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna go finish up my Owlboy highlights, maybe. What's Frank's? Maybe I'll just fucking tell me later. Doesn't need to be on stream. I'm leaving. Goodbye.